New introduction here. I want to get everybody's attention for what I feel will be a lucrative opportunity. It's the first ever NYSE marijuana IPO. We're making history here, and I feel this is just the first stepping stone in what is going to be the start of many IPOs on both the Nasdaq and the NYSE. I feel we're going to have a marijuana sector and marijuana ETFs in the future, and this is just step number one. If you are familiar with the industry, that's all I have to say. I know you're interested already. If this is new to you, this is going to be, in my opinion, the greatest financial opportunity in our lifetimes. This has never happened before. We have an established tens of billions dollar industry that the floodgates are going to open. It's becoming more and more legitimate legally, and this is just step number one. So Innovative Industrial Properties is the company. The ticker is IIPR. It is a real estate REIT that invests in medical marijuana facilities. And for this IPO, we have a new website, www.mjipo.com. I put together an hour of research video going through the filings, researching the company and the executives, and establishing a game plan, looking at some other IPOs and how they have traded. We're going to have a chat room with live Q&A during that day, Tuesday, November 22nd. And we'll also have the live webcam where I'll be showing our charts, going over, pointing out key support and resistance levels, looking at the volume that's coming in. I'm really looking forward to this opportunity. I hope you will join us. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get into the charts. Hello, everyone. Checking back in on the biotech sector. We know it was one of the biggest reactions, bullish reactions to the election, along with the banking sector. I'll do a video on that in just a moment as well. But we're consolidating, and it is very normal and healthy consolidation, and you can tell that not only by the price action, but by the volume. Look at the bull volume on the way up. Look at the bear volume on the consolidation. Perfectly normal and healthy. And in my opinion, this biotech sector has further upside potential, but it all depends on the overall S&P 500 as well, especially when we're looking at XBI, which trades off of the S&P 500 biotechs. So we were knocking on the door of the S&P 500 all-time high Friday. We came within 0.4%, and we're going to be starting next week within about 0.5%. So it really just takes one bullish day to see that all-time high. And if we get that all-time high, we will look for these bull biotechs to show back up and head back to their high of this bounce, which for XBI is up at 68.16. But if we see a pullback now, we did see a bearish day, a bearish reversal candlestick on SPY S&P 500 to end last week. So if we do see a pullback with essentially a little bit of a double top at that all-time high, we can expect further consolidation here in XBI, and we'll be looking down into the low 60s to potentially test the 50-day and 100-day moving average support levels. So we pulled back. We have a new support at the low of this consolidation so far, and that level is 64.89, and the 10-day moving average support will be right at that level on Monday. If we break that 64.89 level, we know further consolidation is very likely to occur, and we will be looking back down to these next moving average supports. Weekly time frame, back testing and holding the 100-week moving average of 65.54, but it is a bearish reversal candlestick, and similar to the S&P 500 pulling back from resistance, we have the high that we've seen on this bounce since February, up at 69.21, and we got up to 68.16, so about 1.3% away from that high of this bounce. And bulls really want to break that level as well. Otherwise, it is just a lower high, and we'll look to form a tightening range if we do pull back with higher lows and lower highs. So look at the reaction to the 200-week moving average, and obviously the election results helped. But every time we have bounced off this level, 5 green weeks in a row, 3 green weeks, 5 out of 6 green weeks, and now 1 huge big green week. We'll see if this momentum follows through. That is a very clear, important base of support for XBI. Now comparing to the Nasdaq Biotechs IBB. So that's what XBI looks like. IBB, clearly more bearish. And we can say that because we didn't break nearly as much of a higher high, and we broke to a lower low on Friday compared to Thursday. XBI has a higher high and a higher low Thursday to Friday. IBB does not have that. And what also stands out, an increase in bear volume. So we've been pointing out time and time again how the Nasdaq Biotechs are weaker than the S&P 500, and we keep getting these little examples for proof. So we didn't confirm the bullish candlestick here, and we're looking to test moving average support here as well, 280.89, 279.07. So in my opinion, if you're playing the biotech sector bullish, you're looking at XBI and LABU. LABU's chart pretty much looks exactly the same as XBI, and that's why I don't really even look at the LABU chart. The moving averages, because it's a 3 times leveraged ETF, are not as important to me. It's the underlying that's important, XBI. So if I were in LABU, I would be making all my decisions based on what XBI were doing. And if I were looking to play Biotech's bearish, I would be playing IBB. And there are some ETFs that play IBB bearish. ZBIO is one of them. And that is a 3 times bear ETF that you can be looking into. Decent volume, enough to be trading at least. Certainly not as significant as LABU and LABD, but it is tradable. So IBB on the daily or on the weekly time frame, and looks like I have gotten rid of that. Let's pull that up real quick. So IBB on the weekly time frame, also a bearish reversal candlestick, but look how much more significant the rejection, or not the rejection, but the lower high is at this point. 301.71 and 294.36. So obviously, because it's a $300 instrument compared to a $69 instrument, that dollar amount, it's the percentage amount in the comparison that matters. But we lost the 200-week moving average support. We've seen plenty of examples where we've seen lower highs and lower lows, where XBI was seeing higher lows and higher highs. So the bulls still have work to do. It looks like we are going to pull back and test the 280 range, which will have weekly moving average support along with those daily moving average supports. And we'll see if the bulls can normal, healthy consolidate and then continue to the upside to head to higher highs, now that the sectors do not have the political weight bearing on them like they did with a potential Democratic president. LABD, so the short-term bounce, oversold bounce is underway, and we can see the high of the bounce is 1537. The bulls have to break that level to see continuation. A higher low was established Friday at 1387, so that's a new key support, along with the low of 1335. And if the bulls break 1537, we'll look to test the 10-day moving average resistance. That will be the big test number 1 to see if this bull bounce really has any momentum behind it. It is a bullish reversal doji on the weekly. We're at all-time lows for LABD, and it's a leveraged ETF, so we know time decay along with the trend against it is going to continue to see LABD hitting lower lows, new all-time lows, until it reverse splits, and then we'll do it all over again. So it is a bullish reversal doji. A green week will confirm this short-term bounce, and we'll see if the bulls have that momentum. Previous support, now resistance, 1536 and 1540. That will be a level to be watching as well, and no surprise, the high of this week, 1537, rejecting from previous support, now resistance. So the bulls have the short-term momentum in terms of the past 3 days to end last week, but the biotech bears, but the biotech bulls have the momentum from the election, the volume, and looking for continuation of the long-term weekly uptrend, looking to get some higher highs in the next few weeks. So hopefully that was helpful. We'll check back in next weekend. I appreciate you watching. Have a great weekend yourself.